Well, good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So, based on the dividend calendar for the fund of funds for YieldMax, for the YMAX and the YMAG, the two that we have, it looks like we may get an announcement next week, actually. So, I wanted to do a video to estimate what those dividends might be and if they actually will be huge compared to all the other YieldMax funds. And it looks like if we just take an average of all the dividends that were announced on all the individual YieldMax funds in February so far, we would come out to around 40 or 41%. So that would suggest a first dividend that it's in line pretty much with how YieldMax pays. I mean, we're accustomed to up to 70% or even 80%. Sometimes it's been up to 160%, like with Coney and some of the others like SQY. But 40% is still not bad because considering other funds and other stocks that pay, 8 to 12%, 40% is still phenomenal. So let's review again where we were on the dividends that we got the first week of, or within the first 10 days of February, actually. So if we go back to the actual announcement, what you would find is if you take the distribution that was announced for each one of these, so we had obviously from bottom to top here, AIYY, Moderna one, SQY, PP, one of my favorite names for an ETF or ticker symbols, AMDY, JPMO, XOMO, which for XOMO, it's MO to pay a high dividend, DISO, MSFO, Coney, NFLY, GUI, FBY, AMZY, NVDY, Appley, OARK, and Tesla. So of the dividend payouts, which individual YieldMax fund would the potential dividend for YMAX be closest to? I would have to peg it close to the MSFO, because if you calculate an average of all of these, you're going to come out around 67 or 68 cents, which based on the current share price would be somewhere within the 40% yield range. So obviously lower than Tesla, higher than OARK, much higher than Appley, lower than NVDY, ballparkish, close to AMZY, lower than FBY, higher than GUI, lower than NFLY, lower than Coney, which Coney really impressed me for their February dividend, given what the stock actually did. Ballpark, close to MSFO. So I think the dollar amount or cent amount, because we're not going to be looking most likely at a full dollar. If we did, it would highly surprise me. But as far as the actual amount, I think we would be on par with what MSFO is paying out. Percentage-wise, we'd be a little higher. We would be closer to around 40%. DISO, we would be higher. So how many YieldMax funds would we actually be higher than in our first dividend payout? Higher than XOMO, higher than JPMO, lower than AMDY, because that was our best one in February. About the same as PP. SQY would be higher. MRNY, ballparkish, similar, and AIYY, it would be higher. So as far as a yield, that would actually be a higher yield than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, 8, 9, 10. So it'd be higher than 10 out of the 18. It would be ballparkish, similar to 2 out of the 18, and it would be lower than the other 6 out of 18. So pretty good overall, if you consider. And then let's review the price where we closed at Friday. And just think we'll be trading again tomorrow. Quick weekend, right? Super Bowl's coming up soon. I don't really care about the game one way or the other. I just don't like repeat winners, so I guess I would, by default, have to root for San Fran. But I don't really care either way. None of my teams are in it. So, okay, as far as YMAX, we're at $20.78. So, yeah, we would be somewhere in the ballpark of the 40% range is the closest that I would peg it. We had a really good week. We ran up from 2050. We dropped a little bit on day one of trading, and then we came back. I mean, you see the line here steadily up. So we're off to a pretty good start with the YMAX. As far as the YMAG, what would my estimate be for that one? Let me get a calculator for that one. I'll be right back. Or you know what? I could just do. Let me see. I might cover that one real quick. Yeah, I'll cover them both. I'll be right back. Okay, for the YMAG, we'll just change the title of the video. So that was the Magnificent 7 again. So we would take, let's see again here, the Magnificent 7 stocks. We would have, so it's going to be Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. Okay, so let's take those. Apple, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. Come on, screen. This poor MacBook. It's on its last leg. All right. Let me check our comments here real quick. We've got a whopping 0 comments. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's see. So we're going to take the dividends for the MAG 7. So if we add up, so Tesla paid $40.46, Apple paid $17.27, NVDY a whopping $1.53, Amazon $68.42, FBY a whopping $1.17, Google. So we almost have the MAG 7 at the top here. So Google, so let's see, we got Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, FBY, Google, NFLY is $1.25.69, and then Microsoft is $68.36. So let's see, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I'm counting one more. Which one did I add in that was wrong here? Let's see. Netflix. So we got to factor out Netflix, and then we'll divide by 7 to get a good average here. Okay, so the Netflix one should not be included, so that was 125.69. All right, so we've got 507 cumulatively divided by 7. That would suggest a 72-cent dividend for the MAG 7. If we were to times that by 12, that would be $8.69. And then if we look at the YMAG itself to come up with a percentage, it's 869 divided by 20, 62. So that's about 42%. So ballparkish where we would be for YMAX as well. So that's what I would expect as far as my estimate for our two YMAX and YMAG for our two YieldMax fund of funds. As a reminder, the distribution calendar, let me see here. I think we have it for both of them, but we're looking at this week. It's going to be like the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. So let me just share that with you all again really quick here. Just as a reminder, you know, it's a separate distribution calendar. So I just want to share that real quick with you all here, because that should be coming up. Hopefully we'll get some news this week. Okay, so see on the site, we've got the distribution schedule for covered call ETFs and for fund-to-fund ETFs. So we're going to look at the fund-to-funds. So yeah, so Valentine's Day, our favorite holiday, or not so favorite in some cases. So we're not as tight. We're not on as tight of a schedule as we are with the other ones. So we've got Valentine's Day, declaration date, X date, record date. We got to wait until the next Monday. Or wait, is that 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th? Yeah, so the next Monday is payment date on those. So this is our distribution schedule for the fund of funds. So, and then yeah, it's always like after this one, I think it's because of when they announced, when they created the fund and when it became public. After this one, it looks like we're in a much tighter range. You see, there's not as much of a delay. It's pretty much 4 days in a row. for the rest of them. So we only have to deal with that this month. After that, it should be smooth sailing from declaration date to distribution date. So, all right, you all, thank you all for tuning in. Let me check one more time here on the live participation or lack thereof. Okay, so thank you all. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word, join the Discord. Going to start doing live shows there. So thank you all again. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And we will see you all very soon. Thanks so much for tuning in again, and take care.